Today's episode is brought to you by Me Undies. Me Undies are the undies I have on me. Also, today we're brought to you by Quip. Quip is here to get your teeth brushed all nice and fresh and get you smiling right. We'll talk about that too. Now let's jump into this podcast.
Hello, everybody. It's time for Cox and Crendor.
Cox and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up. It's up. Cox and Crendor in the morning.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday episode of Cox and Crendor in the morning.
What's up?
Whoa. You okay?
I was yawning, but I had to talk, so I was too excited, so I yawned. So I usually
You sounded like a ghost escaping from a crypt that was also saying, what's up? Like, what's up?
I was also escaping from my crypt.
Yeah, you were like a very cool ghost.
Listen, my adrenaline shot. I just watched the Packer game. They missed like 3 game-winning field goals, and the Bengals missed 2 game-winning field goals, and it came down to the final one, and he made it. By the end of that, I think I aged like 10 years in 5 minutes.
I saw your tweets and assumed you were talking about sports, but also what you tweeted could have been about anything. Like, what even is this?
No, if you see me tweeting like that, it's sports. I would never tweet like that about anything else.
What even is this?
What even is this? Unless it's like some big thing going on, like an event, and then people are watching. But otherwise, it's sports.
All right.
It's use your crypt, you know.
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Like cracking the crypt code or whatever, you know? Not crypto,
What?
but like the crypt, like puzzle, like crypt puzzle.
Crypt puzzle?
You know.
No, I
I'm telling
don't.
you. What's it called?
Crypt puzzle. You can just Google it. What are you trying to say?
Crypt. Like, crypts.
Yeah.
A crypt is a stone chamber beneath the floor. Okay,
That is
but
true.
Yeah, it also is like, it's also like, what's the word I'm looking for?
A cryptologist, maybe?
No, for like cracking
A
the code.
cryptologist studies codes.
Would the codes be crypt?
I don't know that that's what they're called. Cryptids, maybe? But
not
cryptids are like weird creatures. I don't know.
They're not. So like, yeah, what's a cryptologist cracking?
Cryptologists work for like, secret agencies and the military and like computer companies and like, they figure out things. Clearly I have no clue what one does. They break codes. I don't know how.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
cryptology.
So in my mind, I think I was thinking cryptology. So I'm thinking like cracking codes, but then I couldn't think of cryptologist, but then it's like, what's the word for cracking a code? So I was like,
Cryptology.
and then I couldn't. Yeah, but you don't say like I cryptologied that code.
No, you don't. You're right. You don't. You cracked the code. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I was lost there. But now
I feel like they wanted to be called cryptologists because code crackers doesn't sound that cool. What are you? I'm a code cracker.
It sounds like a show on like a not popular TV channel. Like today on BLC, the bacon lettuce code cracking channel. We've got bacon, we got lettuce, and we got codes.
It's a lot of food shows and then
Code
one code cracking show that's very popular.
They have a show about puzzle crackers, and they got a show about like actual crackers that are like, today we're putting bacon and lettuce on crackers today, and tomorrow we'll be putting lettuce and other forms of bacon, like Canadian bacon, back bacon.
Puzzle crackers does not sound good. Like, we're puzzle crackers? That does not sound cool as code crackers.
Crack the puzzle. But yeah, like crack the code.
Like
That's
code,
like a cool
we're
thing.
puzzle breakers. Like, that doesn't sound good either. Code crackers, code breakers, that sounds dope. But puzzle? That sounds like a group of, like, moms. We're the Puzzle Breaker Society.
No, that's
What do
like
you do?
That's the Puzzle Solver Society. We're the puzzle solvers.
Yeah, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's cool. But, you know.
No. So yeah, there's that. And then I was watching, so like on the the Apple TV, right? So I got Apple TV like years ago, and now they just came out with a new one. But I was like, I don't want a new Apple TV. Like, this one works fine.
What does that mean? What like a physical TV?
Do you not know what an Apple TV is?
I know that there's a product that you buy. It's like Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's like a Roku or a Fire Stick or any of those.
Gotcha.
Things, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I bought one like 4 years ago, and I was like, well, this one still works good. I don't want to buy a new one, but they came out with a new remote, and I hate the old remote for the Apple TV because it's like, if you want to select something, you got to use the touchpad, and the pad's like very sensitive. So you're like, right? But now with the new remote, they make it so you got like a wheel to select stuff, or the wheel has touchpad sensitivity, so you can use the option of both. So I'm like, oh, I want that. And so apparently that was like $50, and then buying the actual TV is like $170, and I was like, nah, give me the remote. I don't care. So I got the remote, and it works great. So I'm happy about that.
So Apple got you on something. Before you were like, no, I don't think this new iPhone. But now you're like, yeah, they got me.
Well, I mean, I like my iPhone. I just don't like the new iPhone.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But the new whatever this is, the new
Apple TV remote,
iTV, you love it, yeah.
Yeah. See, here's the thing: the old Apple TV remote, if I had the option to buy another Apple TV with that remote, definitely a hard pass. But this new remote, it's great. It's what the remote should have been. So I'm a big fan. And then I was trying it out, right? Because you got to test out the remote, go around, and I was like, let's see, what's something I can test it out on? So I went to Disney Plus, and I went to National Geographic, because they got like National Geographic stuff, right?
I'm
waiting
for how this relates to your, because it's just TV. I'm so confused.
Okay.
All right,
so
yeah.
Well, it's like 4K and everything, so I'm like, all right. There's really no point. Like, I already know the Apple TV can, like, and most things can play 4K. It's really, I was like, this will look cool, and I'll test it with the remote. That's all I was doing. So I go to the thing, and I'm watching Yellowstone animals. All right, and there are some crazy animals in Yellowstone.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
And I honestly mean this. Would you ever go camping?
Like,
would you ever go to Yellowstone?
I'd probably try camping, but I don't know if I'd have a good time. I might have like a good time for a day.
Yeah, I can't imagine that you would be like, this is the life.
Well, you know what? I'd enjoy camping if it was like I said, one night, one day. Yeah, that's probably enough. Maybe I'd go fishing. I'd enjoy that. And then, eat some food on the grill. And then the worst part would be sleeping in a tent.
Would you need a camper?
I would. Oh yeah, definitely need a camper. That hard ground is gonna mess up my back, my groin, my neck. There's no helping me. No helping me or helping me.
My back, my groin, my everything. All the parts that matter. You were like, it's gonna mess it up.
You add that up, my GERD. Probably eat like that grilled food. It's going to have a lot of fattiness on it. I'm not going to be able to digest that. My heartburn's going to kick in because I'm laying flat instead of at a slight upward angle like I have with my heartburn pillow I use.
You got How are you like this? Everything. All I asked is like, when you ever go camping, you're like, well, I can't go camping because I got to get my angle right. And I got to get my heartburn pillow. And I have to have my back and my groin. You are.
Gotta have it, dude.
You are literally the oldest person who ever lived.
I really am. That and then just, not enjoying anything fun really just caps it off. So, anyway, I'm watching National Geographic, and there's these animals going crazy because they're animals, right? So, first animal is like a beaver, and it's like this family of beavers. There's like the mom and the dad beaver, and then the kids, and like the kids are running around in the house. The mom's just like, hey, calm down. And then the dad's like chopping down trees with his teeth. So like the tree's falling over. He's like building their giant ass like beaver dam. And then
Dad is chopping down with his
his teeth. He's like gnawing the tree down. And it like falls over.
I mean, it makes sense. It's what they do.
And then he's like picking up mud and like like putting mud on their thing, and then they're like, the beavers store their food underwater because it's so cold underwater. It lasts during the winter and everything. And I was like, dude, they got like built-in refrigeration in there. Like, beavers are living the life.
Yeah. If you ever see sometimes they do charts online, like you can find infographics, which I think is really weird, but it's like beaver infographics, and it shows like how a beaver house looks from the side, like a side view. They're living large in there, man. They have like underwater tunnels to get in, and then underneath it's got like little rooms for each of them and stuff. They're doing it.
That's insane. Like, beavers are... I'd probably rather live in one of those than go camping. So then that was pretty neat. Then they moved down to like the otters. They were like surfing down a mountain. I was like, whoa, look at them go. Like, they were snow surfing. But then the fox tried to get the otters, and I was like, they're not going to show a fox eating otter. They didn't. The otters got away. And then one of the craziest ones was the rams. Like, you know how rams got the big ass horns and they ram into each other, which is where the term like, oh, he rammed into me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize how insane rams get. Like, it was like watching a free for all in the NFL or something. But like, they're built like athletes. Like, the one ram smashes into the other ram's head, and they're just like, boom, and they both just wobble around a bit, and then another ram like just rams into the side of his ass, and it's like, boom, and his like skin like ripples. And then the other one like limps off. They're like, now he has won the right to mate. And then he goes over to the like female ram, and she's like, and then another ram comes out of nowhere to slam somebody, like goes down the mountain. I was like, what the shit is this? Like, by the end of it, it's like
dating in 2021, man.
Like, by the end of it, it's like there's not even going to be any rams left. They're all going to be, like, falling over.
That's what that female ram's hoping for. She's like, I got stuff to do today.
They're just like, God, these rams are dumb. I mean, after that, they probably got, like, 20 concussions. They probably are. That is insane. Because in the one ram, he, like, falls down the mountain. You're like, oh, he's done. And then he just, like, runs back and rams through another one.
When you say fall down the mountain,
they fall down the mountain. They're like, it's crazy. Just look up rams fighting on a mountain. You're not going to be disappointed. I guarantee it.
I really just need you to describe every ram fight you see from now on, because this is sound effects. No.
So that was crazy to watch.
Wait, how does this relate to your new remote control?
Well, that's
how
what I
did
was
that
watching.
make this better?
That's what I got to from using the new remote control.
But it's just a remote control. I thought you were gonna be like, the interactivity was so high. It's just a controller.
Yeah, but it was better than the old one. That's really all that mattered about it.
I don't even know how. Okay.
So that was pretty fun. How's your week?
I don't know. I'm trying to minimize stuff and like get stuff done. And this is the thing I learned this week. This is what I've come to the conclusion. I have been fighting all this time, Crendor, to free up my life, right? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get my schedule down. I'm going to try and like do this stuff. I'm going to try and like make it so I can have hours and hours a day, just like hang out with friends and just to spend time and do. Let me tell you, ain't nobody else doing that. I have so much free time to like hang out with people. Ain't nobody hanging out. Everyone is like, I got like 8 brand deals I gotta do this week. I don't have time. Or like, oh man, I promised I would stream today, so I can't really do anything. So I'm like, well, what the hell am I doing this for? What am I doing this for if no one can do anything? So I'm like, well, I guess I'll just like watch TV, right? Like, okay, cool. Sounds fun. Everyone's so busy. Being an adult sucks, is what I'm saying.
That's true.
I did all this work to free up time to hang out with people, and everyone's like, his life is really, really busy. So either they hate me, which, you know, is impossible, or...
There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. Or they can't manage their own time.
That's also very possible. Here's the thing with my schedule. So, like, I seem Like, I don't do anything. But what I do is I break everything up into, like, chunks. So I'm like, okay, tonight I got a brain deal. I got to stream from, like, 10 to midnight. And then I'm like, all right, I got to make a video. I'll do that before I go to the gym. And then, I got to do a Patreon thing. I'll do that after the gym. And then I have to write my book for a bit. So I'm like, okay, I'll fit that in. I take frequent breaks. I'm like doing stuff. If I'm like, should I do this thing? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to do that thing. And we're going to take a break. And we're going to like paint some Warhammer or something creative. You need to like draw or something. Or like paint.
I do need to like, I love Warhammer stuff. And I would do that if I had, I don't know. Every time I think, I should take some downtime for me. When I do that, I always am like, but I got so many other things I have to do. I don't know. I always feel like I'm behind. And we talked about this before. I always feel like I'm behind and I'm trying to catch up. And I never can catch up.
Talk about how you're watching TV.
Well, I'm watching TV because that's the thing. I'm like trying to take a break.
Well, then why don't you take a break by doing something creative?
Well, look, shut up. I'm trying to not do anything. If I'm creative, I'm going to be like, well, how does this help a future project I'm doing? Or how does this, it isn't just like, I drew a picture today. Right? Like I don't have that in pictures. I don't draw. I doodle.
Helping you. All right, it's helping you by freeing up that part of your mind that's trying to be creative that you're blocking off by doing work. And then when you do the creative thing, you feel more energized to do actual work because you're like, wow, now I feel better by doing something creative and fun and doing that. And then you go back to work and you're like, wow, this is easier because now I'm fulfilled in other ways that I wasn't.
How are you more grounded than me? How did this happen? How
Honestly,
are you
it's
more
probably
ready to take on the day than I ever will be?
It's probably the years of pain. Really, just
is that what it
issues,
is?
The health issues, they just wear you down to the point where you're like, I don't give a shit. So then you just start having fun and doing things you want to do, and you're like, this is fun. And then you you get a good work-life balance because you need it. Because otherwise, you'll run yourself into the ground. Your health is deteriorating. You're falling apart. Your blood pressure's high. Your cholesterol's going up. Your organs are getting removed. Everything's going wrong, and then you're nothing.
Damn. I feel like I've been pep talked, and I don't know why.
You should buy my book, Get Up and Do Something by Crendor, coming to a Barnes & Noble near you this fall.
Why don't you write that book? Get up and do something.
I probably should, actually. That'd be a fun thing.
Just be like, here's my advice. Just do anything.
This guy's right. I gotta do something.
Wow, this guy's advice is great. Chapter 1, do anything. I got to chapter 1 and I had to stop because it was great advice.
I mean, I was gonna release my first book as my big fantasy book I've put years of effort into and now I'm progressing with, but this one sounds a lot easier to make as my first book.
That's what I'm saying. As a first book, this is the one. Self-help.
Point.
That's what you gotta do.
I was gonna say, if you could, I was gonna ask this earlier, but now it seems more fitting. If you could go back to one specific age in your childhood, like 1 through 18, what would it be?
1 through 18?
Or I guess 17. It's technically 18.
I wouldn't even need to go back that far. But I'll stay within the parameters. I know exactly where I go back to if I was able to go back. But 1 to 18 or 17, I would say if I went back to 18, I would tell myself, you're doing great, kid. Eat a salad. That's what I would say. That's all I would say. Like, you know what? You're doing great. Everything about your life has been awesome. Eat a salad. Don't like less hamburgers, more salads. You'll do great.
I mean, like, what would you go back to that to relive that part of your life? Like,
are you asking me to go back? I would go back to 1999 was a good year. Like, that was 99 was like a solid from spring to summer to fall. That was like Jesse. You know, I had like that last year of school thing. I worked at a movie theater during the summer. I remember that summer at the movie theater, like hooked up with this girl in the projection room. That was great. And then like, you know, I had my like first real girlfriend, not like, you know, one of those like we kissed, like real girlfriend kind of things. Everything about that summer was like a solid, hey, this is going to be a good year, bruh. Yeah, that was 99 was a solid year for me. So I would go back to then, but like, I don't know. I don't think it's very consequential of, basically high school before that was high school and kind of sucked. And 99 was like, hey, this is fun. And then college was like college, it was a lot of work and BS. But my first year, freshman year of college was pretty fun. But then after that, it was just like, the same thing over and over and over again. And then would I go back to school teaching Jesse? No. School teaching Jesse was a mess. School teaching Jesse is the reason I'm going balding in the back. Yeah, school teacher Jesse was stressed. And then, if I had to go back to a time period, I would say March 2012 Jesse. Because I know exactly what I would do. I'd go back. Because that was, March 2012 Jesse was when I was at the gym every day. I had my shit together. I was at the gym every day. I was in I'm going to say it, a pretty good relationship at the time that I felt like, looking back, I probably could have handled a little more kinder in a way that, when it's like I work all the time and this person is getting more jealous that I'm spending more time at work than with them, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, I definitely could have handled that better. And there's a lot of things about that moment where it'd be like, dude, if you stay on what you're doing, 10 years from now, imagine what your life will be like. And so, but here I am. So I definitely would go back to that for sure. Not that I would change anything about like what happened, but I definitely would be like, hey, you've learned a lot and you really should rethink a lot of stuff about your life, pal. And I would be, but I still wouldn't change this podcast would still exist and I'd still stream and stuff. Although, I don't know. God help me. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe, you know what? Maybe half the things that happened would have happened. If I would go, it's that
true.
Go left instead of right.
Yeah, you never know. Man, this could be the Cox and Cox show.
That's not true. The Cox and Cox show? No. That's not true.
I'm trying to see what video you made back then.
In 2012?
Yeah. I'm trying to see specifically because you said March 20th or something.
Well, the reason why I said March 2012 is that's when I moved to LA.
Oh, I see.
And so, and before that, and this is why I know, when I lived, so at the end of 2010 through all of 2011, I'm trying to think of when it was in 2010, October, November. I think I moved back home when I lost my job teaching with my parents in November or December of 2010. I had nothing. I was broke as shit. Moved back home, and all 2011 I lived with my parents. And that's when I started doing YouTube full time as a goof. And it wasn't until December of 2011 that I actually started making money. And I was like, oh my God. But so in between, and look, I love my parents. I love them to death. But all I was doing was staying at home and staying around my parents all day. They annoy the hell out of me. Maybe find a job substitute teaching. Maybe. And I was just like, oh my God, stop. And they kept trying to pressure me to do stuff. And I was like, I am suffering low-grade depression. I am doing nothing right now. I am living at home with my parents at the age of 29. I literally, leave me alone. And of course, they didn't. So my one way to get away from them was I had the gym membership. And so I'd leave the house and go to the gym and hide out there. And then, work out at the same time. And I did that for a whole year. And, I lost 80 pounds during that time. And then I moved to LA. And when I got to LA, I had none of that. I had nowhere to work out, I had nothing to do. And then I spent all my time working. And I just looks like I'm going to gain it all back. That kind of stuff. And over the last 10 years, I pretty much did. And now I'm like, oh, man. So that's what I'm saying is I would go back and be like, Jesse, you fool. You're looking great. You're feeling great. Don't be a dummy. Yeah.
I was checking your videos from then. You had announcement Jesse in Poland and Norway this week.
Yeah.
You had
Yeah, that's when I went. That's when I went to Warsaw for the first time, and that's when I went to Oslo. That was great.
You had Miss of Pandaria.
Probably with you.
It was part 2, a new style of phasing with Crendor.
Yeah.
Deus Ex, Human Revolution.
Yeah.
You had Terraria Part 28. Jesse is bad at going it alone.
As we've learned, that's true. Yes. if anything, very prophetic.
And we had Saints Row the Third, Cox and Crendor Part 11. What seen can't be unseen.
This is again. You said it would be the Cox and Cox, but I'm telling you, it would still be Cox and Crendor.
That's true.
Nothing would change. Nothing would change.
Skyrim Part 55. I had a dream it would end this way. That's really it all adds up.
Yeah, and that's those were the days way back when in 2012, and I would definitely go back, and I also would tell 2012 Jesse, stop doing Let's Plays.
Oh yeah.
Do something else. Have fun with your life. So.
See, if I had to go back, I would go back to, there's maybe when I was 12 years old, 12, 13. That was a prime time because I was 7th, 8th grade. And then I was playing MU Online with a bunch of friends, which was my first ever RPG. So I was super addicted to that. So
what the hell is MU Online?
It's an old school Korean online RPG.
Of course it is.
It came out 2002. And it's pretty much Diablo. They copied Diablo, but they made it online and really janky. But when you're 13, you're like, dude, this is crazy. You can get gear and equip it. And so you would just tape your mouse down and go AFK and farm stuff.
MU Online, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, so every year I go back and I do a nostalgia trip where I just look at stuff. So I have one of the top MU Online videos, so I always get MU Online YouTube views, and they're just this guy's idiot. Because it's it's a bunch of people who can't really speak English.
I love that the artwork on the main page is a fully clothed ninja knight and then his buxom elvish companion. You know how it is.
Yeah, I remember that was a good time. Then there was I was painting Warhammer for the first time back then. So that was my initial getting into Warhammer time, and I was younger and had imagination. Now I'm older and have imagination, but back then it's you get super active.
I was about to say, you have zero imagination problems, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then, I was just hanging out with friends. I remember I'd go by my friend's house. We'd play basketball and football, and we'd just run around and then play MU Online. In fact, my one friend was playing, and we were all outside. We're come play sports. And he's like, I'm grinding Jewels of Chaos. And we're like, shut up, idiot. And his dad would just be like, get outside, get off the computer. So then he'd have to come outside. So that was fun. It was a good time. And you didn't have to worry about doing anything. So that was fun. And then
so you're telling me you just want to go back to a time in your life where you don't have to worry about doing anything?
No, maybe just that one specifically though. That's I have a lot of memories from that specific time period, I guess. So I don't know. I feel there's other years I didn't do anything and I don't really remember those. I mean, in fact, last year I didn't really do anything. But that would be one. And then if I had to pick a YouTube year, I think I'd probably pick 20, maybe 2013 or 14. I think that was my YouTube prime.
I think it was everyone's YouTube prime.
I don't know. I don't think everybody.
I guess I'm talking about people like us.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm talking about us people, not the new kids with their fancy lives and shit.
Oh yeah, living. Listen, I'm not top 1,000 on Twitch. All right.
Oh my god. Can I tell you? So I saw the list of all the top earners, right? And I was like, I gotta see where I'm at on this list because there's no way I'm even on it. I was like, there's no way I'm showing up on this list. So I start scrolling through, And it's all the big earners, and I'm like, wow, they made a lot of money. And I keep scrolling and scrolling, and then I see like Dodger and Sam, and I keep scrolling and scrolling, and I'm like, all right, well, there's the top 1,000, and I keep scrolling, keep scrolling. I'm like, where the hell is? Am I not even in the top 2,000? And at a certain point, I saw Crendor. I was like,
dude, I'm like 17. I'm like 1750 or something.
I was like, oh, there's Crendor. I know I'm lower than Crendor. Okay, so I keep scrolling. I keep scrolling. I'm at like 3,000 in, and I'm just like, there's no way. So I just, for some reason, I was like, oh yeah, I should just like search my name. So I searched my name. I'm like 4,000 something. I was like, are you telling me in the totality of all of Twitch, this is how much I made? Like, why am I even doing Twitch? I was like, Jesse, you waster of time. This is. I was like, why am I doing this? It's like, oh, you're so dumb. All I know is that I can't wait. Look, I want this video game company to like make a ton of money, so I don't have to do videos or anything anymore. I swear to God, I'll make videos for fun, but I don't want to have to rely on them as like, this is my job. Oh, I hate it. Oh, Crendor, I hate it.
Listen, I'm just saying, as a top 2,000 Twitch streamer, I just say I'm like the Kyle Korver of Twitch. Now, if you don't know who Kyle Korver is, you don't watch the NBA. Kyle Korver has been around since 2003. All right? He has played nearly 20 years. He had one All-Star year, which coincidentally was 2014, probably my best YouTube year. All right? And he pretty much comes in, he hits three-pointers, and that's it. That's all he does. He comes in, hits threes, but everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's Kyle Korver. You know, he hits threes sometimes. He's like 80 years old, but, you know, that's what he does.
It's what he does.
So that's my comparison. I mean, otherwise, in fact, my stats got boosted because in 2019, I had like my best Twitch year ever with Classic WoW and everything. We have not been back to those levels in quite some time. So it wouldn't surprise me if I'm not even in the top 2,000 anymore. But yeah, whatever. You know?
It's interesting. So I don't know if you saw on that list, but some of the names on that list have less views than you and I, but make twice as much.
Yeah, they're just grinding out the folks. We need those Twitch Primes. Listen, I only do my Twitch Prime promotions once every like 30 minutes. Maybe I got to up it to once every 10 seconds.
Once every 30 minutes? I don't do them at all.
Well, there's your problem. Okay, I've always said this. Twitch, you're essentially just you're like somebody playing a saxophone on the street corner.
Oh,
like
for sure. Agreed.
You have to constantly be like, hey, tips over there. Like, keep pointing it out. Otherwise, people are just going to walk by and be like, whatever. But if you go like, hey, thanks for the tips, people be like, all right, I'll throw them something. Like, you have to actively be like, come on.
I can't do that. I'm terrible at that. I can't do it. Crendor, I can't do it.
You used to always say, what was your thing? Promote like shameless whores or whatever. That's what you said. And that's your thing.
And that's true. Look, I know what I said. Do as I say, not as I do.
That's listen, this guy. Either way,
I'm aware of all my faults and my foibles. I understand that I am the problem.
I will say, I think out of all the platforms, I think podcasting is the one I have the most fun with because, you know, I just rant. And then I'd say second is still YouTube. Like, I got started with YouTube. I still like doing YouTube. To me, you know, I prefer the creative aspect of it and then putting up a video and people going, woo, nice. So that's why I'm actually working on pointless top 10 fishing spots in Final Fantasy.
I will promote the hell out of that video.
They're good. They're all filmed. I just gotta do some audio. It's gonna go up this week.
Pointless fishing spots. I don't even know what that means.
You'll find out.
Every spot's pointless, technically.
Exactly. These are the top ones.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's gonna be a good ass video. I can tell.
Yeah. So I'm pumped to put that up because like there's the thing where like, you know, if you make some videos being like, what's going on with this thing, and it's like a discussion video, like they're okay, but they're not. There's something about like putting effort into a video and like writing it or filming it and audio and putting all this like creative effort into it and then putting it up and people enjoy it compared to other stuff that's rewarding.
No, for sure, definitely. I I watch some of the other people in the sort of like Final Fantasy space when I'm making videos, and their videos are like them on a camera, and they're like, hey, I'm talking about an issue, and this is a thing I care about. And they get plenty of views.
Right.
But I'm also just like, I don't want to make that video. Like, bless them. That exists. They exist. They're doing their thing. That's not ever going to... I'd never want to be the person that's like, and now the news that's taking place in a game. Like, I don't want to be that person. That sucks. That means I have to stay up to date on everything that's going on. I have to, like, learn things. And, like, no, I'm good. I want to make a video that's like, this is a cute monster, and his name is Philip, and he's cute.
Philip the cute monster.
Yeah, he's a monster, and he's cute. What's the problem?
That's a good point. What is the problem? The problem is our lack of imagination in our current society.
Well, you know what isn't a problem? Hey! Whoa! Me undies! Can I tell you, this week we got another message from one of our listeners who was like, hey, I went out, I got me undies, and they're amazing. And me undies was like, ooh, glad you like them. And hopefully me undies will like this. And then they'll be like, have some more money, boys.
And it wasn't a pirate being like, yar, I got me undies.
Hey. Are you afraid of glow in the dark? Well, shield your eyes because the new Me Undies Halloweens have dropped dead. If there's one collection you don't want to ghost, it's this one. With 5 new prints to turn up the terror. You should summon them before it's too late. Whether you're out running a killer or being abducted by aliens this Halloween, be comforted by the fact that your undies will look great no matter what. When those aliens are like, now we probe you, they're going to pull down your pants, see those undies, and be like, never mind, bro. Those are some dope undies. Yeah. Me undies are made from natural fiber sourced from beechwood trees. It's this micromodal fabric, softness, breathable, coziness. I don't even know how it works. All I know is that they have a bunch of new prints. I See You, My Boo, Tricks and Treats, Lazy Bones, Lazy Pumpkin. I gotta go look these up. What are these? I haven't even seen these new ones. They're available in undies, bralettes, socks, loungewear from sizes extra small to 4XL. There are a lot of options to consider this holiday season, but make a decision quickly because there's somebody right behind you. MeUndies is offering you, our listeners, a great deal for your first time purchase. You get 15% off and free shipping. That's right, 15% off, free shipping, and MeUndies has a problem-free philosophy. If you are not satisfied for any reason with any product, you can return your full order to get a refund within 45 days. To get 50% off and 100% satisfaction guarantee and free shipping, go to MeUndies.com/Crendor. That's MeUndies.com/Crendor.
That's me.
Also, today we're brought to you by Quip. We all love the clean, minty, fresh feeling you get from mouthwash. Well, you know, those plastic mouthwash bottles? I don't think we like the feeling of when we just trash them, throw them away, and they end up like in the ocean or wherever. Quip has thought about that. And now they have their very own mouthwash dispenser, right? You're not throwing it away. You're refilling the mouthwash in it and using the dispenser. It looks great. You can keep it right on your sink. And it's one that will help take care of the environment and yourself. Plus, the alcohol-free 4 times concentrated mouthwash comes in an eco-friendly refill bottle that's 100% recyclable. So like I said, you're looking after the world, keeping your mouth a little cleaner, keeping the earth a little greener. Ooh, that's good. That rhymes. I felt good about that.
Yeah.
You know Quip as the makers of the electron toothbrush and floss that you hear about all the time on this show. Well, they've launched a new mouthwash to help complete your clean. Quip mouthwash kills bad breath germs, helps prevent cavities, and leaves you feeling fresh thanks to its formula that has everything you need and nothing it doesn't. And you can add a mouthwash refill plan and make sure your rinse never runs out. With customizable subscription, you can get refills automatically delivered straight to your door every 3 months. You can stay on top of your swish without lugging any bottles home from the grocery store. How refreshing. Pair it up with a Quip electronic toothbrush for adults or kids, and one of our refillable flossers, and you'll be surprised just how easy and fun it can be to keep your whole mouth healthy. And Quip now has great tasting, good for you gum too, to help keep your mouth clean between your brushings. Along with the mouthwash, Quip also delivers fresh brush heads, floss, and toothpaste refills every 3 months from $5. Shipping is free, so you can save money and skip the hustle and bustle of in-store shopping. With affordable refills plus free shipping, it's easy to see why over 5 million mouths already are using Quip, and you can join them. To get your Quip, all you gotta do is go to getquip.com/Crendor5 right now for $5 off a mouthwash starter kit. That's $5 off a mouthwash starter kit, which includes a refillable dispenser and 90-day dose supply of Quip's 4 times concentrated formula. Get Quip, getquip.com/Crendor5. Quip, the good habits company. All right, Crendor, let's go chat to some of this guy with Crendor as the traffic out there.
Oh boy, traffic is happening. It is happening right now, folks. If you thought traffic wasn't happening, well, stop, because you're in some traffic right now. I am looking over here. It looks like the cat is looking at me. He is looking at me indeed. He doesn't know why I'm doing this. I don't know how he can see all the way into the sky. That's kind of weird, especially as he sits in his chair, but he is very confused. And, he's still looking. Back to you.
Thanks, Crendor. Good traffic report. All right. Let's go to weather.
Weather time. So typically we try to do some wacky weather names, but today I saw a comment. Someone said, I used to live in Hawaii until financial struggles forced me back to Wyoming earlier this year. Since it's starting to get cold out here, could you do the weather from Kailua, Hawaii, so I can think of the better times? Parentheses, be careful you don't end up in Kailua, Kona, Hawaii, which is also a major town but on a completely different island.
Oh, see? This is the kind of help we need.
This is.
Yeah, this is helpful.
All right, Kailua, Hawaii. Okay, I think I got it. I think this is it. 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy, 17% chance of rain through 1 p.m. Red flag warning. Red flag warning means that critical fire weather conditions are occurring now or will shortly. Let's see. There's also a high surf advisory. Watch out for high surfing.
Nah, that's just how they're going to put out those fires.
It feels like 90. You got a high 85, low 74, humidity 62%, 29.99 inches of pressure, so close to 30. Visibility 10 miles. The wind is at 12 miles an hour going northeast. Yeah, your dew point at 70, your UV index is extreme. And your moon phase is a waxing crescent. Looking at the 10-day, we've got 86 mostly sunny on Monday, 86 partly cloudy on Tuesday, 86 isolated thunderstorms Wednesday, and then you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all with showers and 84 degrees, and then Sunday showers with 83 degrees. So, in fact, over 50% of the days next week are just 83 degrees. So that's how Kailua, Hawaii's looking on top of. So I mean, it's warm, but it's wet. Great for surfing.
Great for surfing. Yeah, watch out for those waves.
But watch for the high tide.
Okay, let's go to sports.
Sports. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that's the weather. That's the weather. Sports. Over at the sports desk, we had wacky and wild football games. I already mentioned the Packer one, which was crazy. Take a look at some of the other games going on right now. We had Rams beat the Seahawks on Thursday night. Russell Wilson got hurt. He's going to be out for weeks. Not good for them. Falcons beat the Jets in London. Patriots beat the Texans. Vikings beat the Lions on a last-second field goal heartbreaker. The Lions coach was crying after the game. He just wants his team to win, he said. So kind of sad for him. He also kind of looks like a lion.
That's so sad.
Yeah, he also kind of looks like a lion. So I'm cheering for him, you know? I want him to get that win. Eagles beat the Panthers. Saints beat the Washington football team. The Titans beat the Jaguars, which, if you haven't heard, their head coach, Urban Meyer, instead of flying back home with the team last week, was caught at a bar. He was grinding on a female there, and she was grinding on him.
As one does.
And people thought he'd get fired because they're like, why is he not with the team? The team's like, dude, this guy sucks. He's not even like with us. And then today he had some bad coaching decisions. He's also had bad histories of just being a shitty person. So there's a lot of things going against him. I don't know why he's still in job. And the Jaguars haven't won a game yet to top it all off. The Minshew curse, dude. Buccaneers beat the Dolphins. The Packers, that crazy win. Steelers beat the Broncos. Bears are beating the Raiders. Browns are beating the Chargers. Giants are losing to the Cowboys. And the Cardinals are beating the 49ers currently. Then you got Bills, Chiefs tonight, and Colts, Ravens. In baseball, Atlanta, Milwaukee tied at 1 in their series. San Francisco and LA tied at 1. The Rays are currently losing 4-2 to the Red Sox, tied at 1 in that series. And Houston up 2-0 on the White Sox. They play tonight in Chicago. And then hockey and basketball are going to be starting very soon. Hockey starts this week, the regular season. Basketball's been in the preseason. I watched both Bulls preseason games, and it's more fun than I've had watching any regular season Bulls games in the last 5 years. So I'm very excited. And that is sports.
Okay. What is our weird fact of the day?
Weird fact of the day. It's about bumblebees.
All right, yeah.
Bumblebees can fly higher than Mount Everest.
Have we seen that happen? I've heard this before, but have we ever seen it happen?
Let's find out. If you thought it was impressive that humans can make it to the top of Mount Everest, you'll be stunned to find out bumblebees can make it to the summit. Researchers who tracked 2 bees were able to fly at more than 29,525 feet or 9,000 meters, which is higher than Everest. Admitted they were shocked at how high they could fly. Yo, those bees flying high.
So, all right. I typed in bumblebee. Actually, I typed in photo of bumblebee flying high.
Right.
And I got a bunch of photos of them, of bumblebees looking weird, and I didn't know why. And then I realized because I wrote H-I instead of H-I-G-H.
Flying high, man.
But even flying high doesn't make any sense because I was waving high. So it just what is? But I can find no photos of bumblebees flying high either.
Oh yeah, I see the one bumblebee. He's just like a drawn bumblebee, and he's like, "Hey, I'm a bumblebee."
Yeah,
I see that one.
I got a bumblebee that looks like it's a stuffed bumblebee, and I got but nothing of maybe Bumblebee Everest.
Oh yeah,
I just want to. People keep saying this, but I just want to see it.
Yeah, I guess they didn't even. Well, I guess they tracked it. So maybe they tracked the bees. So they knew they flew that high, but then they obviously didn't take pictures or anything.
I guess.
It's got.
I guess commercial airliners are at 10,000 meters. Everest is at 8,848 meters. So they're telling us that basically bumblebees can fly almost as high as airplanes, but geese can reach 2,000. That's the highest.
Huh.
And houseflies can go up to 1,000.
I don't know, man. These bees are crazy. But without the bees, we're dead. We're doomed.
Yeah, no, they can be as crazy as they want. We need them.
Yeah.
You go crazy, bees. Do whatever you got to do.
Yeah. So that's your random fact.
All right. I mean, yeah, I want more evidence of it, but I dig it.
Somebody find us evidence.
Yeah. Scientist, what are you doing? All right. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day, folks. We've got a good one.
Oh, no. Yeah?
Nutty squirrel leaves 42 gallons of nuts in man's Chevy Avalanche.
You know what? I know it's like a silly story, but something about it seems very dirty. Maybe it's the phrase gallons. That word stands out. It leaves gallons of
dropping
nuts.
Gallons of nuts.
Sounds weird. All right, yes.
A squirrel in Fargo, North Dakota.
Not pounds of nuts, gallons of nuts.
Gallons.
It just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't sound right.
A squirrel in Fargo, North Dakota is really nuts for walnuts to the point of where it collected 42 gallons. Bill Fisher said he came home from a 4-day work trip earlier this month, discovered his truck was filled with the walnuts, each the size of a lime. As his Facebook photos show, the walnuts were tucked into every nook and cranny of the Chevy, including the engine compartment and the fenders. Fisher removed enough to fill 7 6-gallon containers. I had to pull the fenders off, clean out all the walnuts, and thought I had them all, and took it down the road, turned a corner, found one rolling down the windshield where the wipers go. As nutty as this might seem, it's nut the first time this happened. Get him out of here.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. Someone went to school and this is what they're being paid to write. I'm an English major, damn it. You'll put nuts in there and you'll like it.
Can we change it's not the first time that it's not the first time? I'd really like to know. You're going to do it. You're going to like it.
You like to not? No, you'd like to nut. Stop it.
Mention the gallons. Gallons of nut.
I have a doctorate in English. Stop.
Fisher said red squirrels have been using his truck to store walnuts from his neighbor's tree every 2 years. The tree's maturation cycle since 2013. I've got other vehicles that sit close to that tree, and it's always my truck. I haven't parked purposely out in the street as far as I can from the tree, and they still go find that avalanche. Over the years.
It's their winter home. This guy doesn't get it. In the winter, they live in that thing.
Exactly. That's the winter home. I've got other vehicles that sit very close to that tree. That's always my truck. Over the years, Fisher has learned how to deal with the squirrely behavior. He knows when the walnuts fall off the tree, it's time to check the engine. He has also learned to wait until there are no walnuts left lying under the tree before commencing the cleanup. The squirrels sit in the tree and watch me clean up the walnuts, almost like, that's mine, buddy, as he's watching me clean up.
You know they're pissed off.
This son of a bitch. One day we're going to get him. That's right, pal. One day.
We'll show him. We'll show them all.
Stuff his whole damn body full of nuts. Gallons of nuts.
Still, he wasn't prepared for just how many nuts would be squirreled away this year. The squirrels set a record. Most I ever pulled out was 4 or 5 6-gallon buckets. This year was 7. Fisher had to remove the fender from the truck to extract some of the nuts, which he is now offering to any human who wants them.
He's going to give them away. Those squirrels are... This guy's playing with fire.
But the squirrel's cash won't be completely gone. I have some rolling around the frame, rails, wells as well that I can't get at, he said. Damn, so they got him in the hard-to-reach place. You can't even get him there.
I feel bad for the squirrels. I don't feel for this guy at all. The squirrels, I'm like, these poor guys.
There, I showed you the picture there.
These poor squirrels, just trying to live their lives.
Yeah, they just found an amazing storage for their nuts. This guy's ruining it. Ruining it.
I feel bad for the squirrels. I think the guy should have put the containers under the tree.
Yeah.
And then the squirrels could have just eaten them all winter from the containers. And then they could have been friends. And he could have taught them a lesson. Don't stick it in. I love that this. I mean, they really did store those nuts.
They really did.
They really did store those nuts. Yeah, that's definitely full of nuts.
Yep. You're not wrong.
He could have done a lot to help them. Instead, he chose violence. And you know what? When the squirrels take him out, I will not be sad. I'll be like, you know what? Deserved.
They just want to get fat and sleep. That's all they want.
Yeah, that's all they want. That's all any of us want, really.
That's true.
Oh, well, that is it for us. Thank you so much for listening or watching or however you're enjoying this podcast. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
Socials. We got youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. All one word. You can see all the podcasts over on YouTube. If you cut off the podcast part, you'll find all the animations on youtube.com/Cox and Crendor. Also, we're on Spotify, iCloud, iTunes, SoundCloud. We're everywhere, except where we're not. Also, Follow us on our other stuff. YouTube.com Jesse Cox, YouTube.com/Crendor, Twitter Jesse Cox, Twitter Crendor, Twitch TV Jesse Cox, Twitch TV Crendor, Facebook Jesse Cox, Facebook Crendor, Instagram Notorious Cox, Instagram Crendor's Taken, and that's it.
Alrighty. Thanks again. We'll see y'all next time. And as always,
I'm shaking the rhino.
to be continued.